Well, we've reached the last round and now we're going into finals. But firstly, let's review the last round, which honestly, it's got to be one of the best rounds I've ever seen in a long time. And the first game really kicked everything off. Bulldogs versus the Power. And geez, what a game that was. Bulldogs were in front for like most of the game, and then Adelaide, I don't know, Adelaide were just able to break through that defense in the last quarter and pinch it by 2 points. Bulldogs had a chance in the dying moments, and then someone, I forgot who it was, just punched it through from behind. With that result, Power finished second, and the Bulldogs, we'll get to them later. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, I tipped the Power, Ramchance tipped the Bulldogs, so not off to a great start. Richmond versus Hawthorn. Well, I said Richmond, Ramchance and Hawthorn. And, I mean, we were already dead, so we were just playing for pride, like, finals-wise. Like, we were 5 goals down, well, with, like, I don't know, 5 or something minutes left in the last quarter. And then, I don't know how, but we were able to claw back some of the deficit. And even when we needed like 2 in a minute, Jack Riewoldt just scores 2 spectacular goals, both really clutch, and ties the game effectively with them. So, I'll just put both of them there because, I don't know, we both won, I guess. So that's a point to both, I guess. Swans and the Suns, well, I said the Swans said Ramchance, and I think everyone did as well. And the Swans, they're just charging towards the finals, and honestly a real contender, considering they got Buddy back. And speaking of Buddy, he's almost at 1,000 goals, so he could very well do it within this final series, although he has stated publicly that he's not going for that milestone. But nevertheless, Sydney have won and have finished in 6th place. Brisbane and West Coast. Okay. This game was really close and really intense, only if you knew the context behind it. Brisbane needed to win by some margin. Well, they just needed to win by something so that their percentage could go over the Dogs and go into the top 4. So the Lions, they needed 1 point. 1 solitary point to get in. And then, I forgot who it was, some guy, he kicked it from out at 50. And it almost goes down the full. And then, I think it was McCarthy, I don't know. He kicked it. It was like that close to going out in the full, but it just scraped through from behind. And that was the difference between not top 4 and top 4. So they did win, but because of that 1 point, they also got into the top 4 with that 1 kick. And the Bulldogs fans, well, they were on the top of the ladder for like most of the year, and then suddenly they're in 5th. So it really pains to be a Doggy supporter. Oh yeah, I said Brisbane, Ramchance said Eagles. And if things weren't crazy enough, Geelong, Melbourne. Effectively first versus second for the literal minor premiership to finish first on the ladder. And Geelong were like, 40-something points up midway through the 3rd quarter. And then Melbourne, they kicked like 6 or 7 goals in a row. And then it comes down to 1 kick by Max Gawn, who missed that shot in 2018 at the MCG. And he has a chance to redeem himself in the most glorious way possible. And he kicks the goal. And the Demons are minor premiers for the year. Jeez, what a game that was. I posted Demons as well. So that happened, and now we're just getting into less chaotic stuff. So Blues and the Giants, I'll just get this out of the way. Me and Ramchance posted the Giants, and all the Giants needed to do is win, and they're in the finals. And it wasn't pretty, but they did what they needed to do, win. Now they're in the finals. St Kilda Fremantle. I said Fremantle, Ramchance said St Kilda. All Fremantle needed to do was win this game and hope for a slight boil over, and then they would be in the finals, only just. But that didn't happen. They squandered it in the most miserable way possible by losing by like 50 points. And then with that was the top 8 sorted. Now the next game, the Bombers and the Magpies, I didn't watch much of because like the result was obvious, like everything was already decided. But I did tipped the Bombers, and Round Chance did as well. And there was nothing really to say about that. Just the Bombers won. And then we have the bottom of the table clash. The Crows and the Kangaroos. I said Kangaroos, so did Random Chance. And I don't know why I said the Kangaroos. I thought that, they're improving. I thought they could win this one, but I really should have been smart about that. Adelaide are technically the better team. And, I mean, they seem to have a slight advantage while playing Adelaide, so... yeah, I really should have seen that coming. I'll skip over everything else, but... the current scores, I'm 126. Random Chance is on 110 with only 9 games left. It's officially impossible for Random Chance to catch up. So, I have won. I don't know what that experiment was for the year, but I don't know, just a bit of fun. Anyway, let's get into the finals because I want to see how much I can get this year. So, firstly, the first finals game, Port Adelaide and Geelong. This is technically the second qualifying final, even though they're playing it first. I know it's weird. So, both teams have been really strong this year, and like most games this year, you could see either team winning it. But I think everyone will say this. I think Port Adelaide are going to win this, only because they do have that home advantage, playing in Adelaide Oval, and yeah, they're just too good there. So I reckon they're going to win. But they need to change their game style, because if they play how they did against the Bulldogs, then they're not going to win this one, because they almost let that one slip. Swans and the Giants. This one's playing in Tasmania, I believe. This is the second elimination final, so the winner of this will play the loser of this in the second semi-final. And this is like, the third time they've played each other in the Sydney Derby in the finals? That's kind of crazy, considering I don't even know if we've had, another derby. Oh yeah, there was, Adelaide and Port Adelaide in, 2005 or something. But whatever. So, this one, I could see either team winning. This game, is really close. But I think everyone will agree that Sydney, they've been one of the surprise packets of the year. And I have a feeling, I reckon they could go probably even more than the semi-finals, provided who they play. Demons and the Lions, this one's also being played in Adelaide. And this is a qualifying final, so the winner goes straight to the preliminary final. And this is a big game, although the gap is wider. It's first versus fourth and second versus third here. So, I think Melbourne, they've just been a really good team this year. And Brisbane, they only just did sneak into the top 4. So, I don't really see them winning this one. Although, to be honest, actually could. You know what? Forget what I just said. They could win it, but it's a very slight chance. And the final game for the round, Bulldogs versus Bombers. This is the first elimination final. This one, the winner of this will play the loser of this in the semi-final. So, what would be really funny is if the Lions lost and the Bulldogs won, and then they'd face off in the semi-final, and then the Bulldogs just knock off the Lions as revenge for stealing the top 4 spot. That would be funny. I think most of you will agree that the Bulldogs will win this one, only because they just dropped out of the top 4, and if they can play how they were early in the year, they'll definitely win this game by honestly quite a lot. Although you never know what can happen with the Bombers. They beat the Bulldogs a few weeks ago in an upset, so who knows what can happen. So I'm not gonna completely roll out a Bombers upset, but it is probably not going to happen, let's be real. Because I'm guaranteed to win this round chance bar is kind of pointless, but let's do it anyway. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time.